with single black mothers and fathers who develop a friendship with their child's teacher. Black mothers and fathers who develop a friendship with the child's teacher, or romance, plutonic friendship or romantic friendship, plutonic friendship or romantic friendship. I cannot tell you how many times. I cannot tell you how many times I have saw situations where the black parent develops a platonic or romantic relationship with the child's teacher, only to be betrayed, by your child's teacher when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when it comes down to saving their job, when it comes down to keeping their relationship with that principal, when it comes down to remaining in that school. Okay? Be careful about those friendships. Be careful about those friendships with the classroom teacher, because when it comes to their paycheck, if they have to choose between loyalty to a parent and their paycheck, what are they going to choose? What are they going to choose? They're not going to choose you. They're going to choose their colleagues. They're going to choose their job. They're going to choose the principal. I remember I knew a brother. He was dating the teacher. And his brother swore he had this teacher all up in cloud nine. Like he had her open. He said, "Doc, this teacher in love with me. They trying to put my son in special ed, but she gonna ride with me. They want him on medicine, but I got her, dog. I be over there every other night, brother. I got that teacher sprung." I said, "Brother, get off your high horse. I don't care how good you lay in that pipe. I don't care how good you lay in that pipe. If she got to choose between your pipe and her paycheck, I'm telling you, she gonna choose her paycheck." And guess what happened? She sided with the school and told the school that she also felt that the child had ADHD, needed medication. Blew his mind. And she dropped the bomb at the meeting in front of the white folks. I'm telling you, y'all better watch these personal relationships with black people who work for the power structure. Number 8. These last 3 are particularly, well, no, they're not. No, they're not. The last 2. This next one is for everybody. Black parents do a horrible job keeping documentation organized and complete on their child. Most of you watching me right now, if I ask you to show me your child's paperwork for the current year, you probably cannot pull it out in one place. If I ask you to show me your child's special ed file, you probably could not pull it out in one place. Some of you don't even have all the paperwork. If you don't keep good documentation, you're not serious about your child's education. You have to keep documentation in order. And you also have to follow up every meeting with a summary letter or email. Follow up every meeting with a summary letter or email. Follow up every meeting with a summary letter or email. Some of you have multiple children. I know this can get tedious. Some of you have multiple children. I know this can get time consuming. Some of you have multiple children. I know this can become a nuisance. But guess what? If you are serious about protecting your children, if you are serious about protecting your children, you will keep their paperwork in order. Every meeting should be followed with a follow-up letter. Get all agreements in writing. No more verbal agreements with the teacher. No more verbal agreements with the special ed director. No more verbal agreements with the dean of students. No more verbal agreements with the school principal. All agreements in writing. If they don't give you a contract or a letter, you send them one. If they don't give you a contract or a letter, you send them one. Dear Mr. Silverberger, it is my understanding, as a result of the meeting we had this afternoon at 3 o'clock with you, my son's teacher, and the school counselor, that going forward, if he gets angry, he has permission to leave the class and walk to the counselor's office, but he's only allowed to do this a maximum of 2 times each week. I want to make sure that I'm absolutely clear about what we agreed on today at 3 p.m. If I am in any way in error regarding the verbal agreement we made, please respond to this email. If they don't respond, your follow-up letter is as good as official. Keep documentation. We live in a culture that is based on the written word. We do not live in a culture where we honor spoken agreements. In Africa, we honor spoken agreements. In America, we honor written agreements. In Africa, we honor spoken agreements. In America, we honor written agreements. So please stop thinking because somebody gave you their word. Please stop thinking because someone gave you their word that their word is bond. Their word is not bond. The word bond is a derivative of bondage. When you say my word is bond, you're saying I'm shackled to this agreement. When you say my word is bond, you are saying I am shackled to this agreement. Bond is the root word of bondage. I'm shackled to this agreement. With all due respect, European culture never honors verbal commitments with black people. With all due respect, European culture does not honor verbal agreements with black people. Write it down. Number 9. 2 more to go. If you're joining us, we have been discussing 10 mistakes black parents make when dealing with the school system. 10 mistakes that black parents make when dealing with the school system. Number 9 of 10 mistakes black parents make dealing with the school. When your child is in special education, there's 5 questions I should ask you, special ed parents. These last 2 are particular for IEP children. I should be able to ask a special ed parent 5 questions that you should answer without having to looking at any paperwork. Are y'all ready, special ed parents? There's 5 questions that I should ask you that you can tell me. If I call you up right now and your child has an IEP, I don't care if you've been in special ed 5 years, 5 months, or 5 minutes. What are the 5 things you should know about a special ed child without looking at any paperwork? Letter A. Letter A. What is your child's disability category? You mean to tell me your child has an IEP and you don't know why? Are you serious? Are you serious? Your child has an IEP and you don't know why? We have a problem in the black community. We have a problem in the black community. Your child is in special ed and you don't even know why. We have a problem. That's letter A. Is he emotionally disturbed? Is he intellectually disabled? Is he autistic? Is he learning disabled? And if he is learning disabled, in which of the 8 areas is he learning disabled? Is he learning disabled for math calculations? Is he learning disabled for math reasoning? Is he learning disabled for reading skill? Is he learning disabled for reading comprehension? Is he learning disabled for reading fluency? Is he learning disabled for listening comprehension? Is he learning disabled for oral expression? Is he learning disabled for written expression? What does he have a learning disability for? Is he blind? Is he deaf? Does he have a speech and language impairment? Is it a brain injury? Is it a traumatic brain? Is it an orthopedic impairment? Is it other health impairment? You must know your child's disability category, and there can be more than one. You can be autistic and emotionally disturbed. You can have a reading disability and be intellectually impaired. You can be blind and deaf. You can have more than one. You must know your child's disability category or disability categories. Letter B. You must know the disability. Letter B. You must know the grade when your child was first evaluated and placed in special education. You might not know the exact date, but you should know the grade. You mean to tell me you don't even know the year that your child was put in special education? How in the hell are you a concerned parent and you don't even know when special ed started for your child? You must know the grade. Was he put in special ed first grade? Was he put in special ed second grade? Was he put in special ed third grade? Was he put in special ed fourth grade? You must know when. Letter C. Not only must you know when he was put in special ed initially, you must also know when he had his last evaluation. When was your child's last evaluation for special education? Because they have to get them every 3 years. A child in special ed in the United States of America must be reevaluated every 3 years. If they're intellectually disabled, they must be reevaluated every 2 years. So, when was the last time your child was evaluated? Do you know the disability? Do you know when he was first evaluated and put in special ed? Do you know when he was last evaluated? Number 4. Number 4. When is your child's IEP due? When is the next IEP due? IEPs must be redone every 365 days. Every 365 days, there must be a new IEP. When is your child's next IEP meeting? Don't tell me you don't know, because I'm going to call you trifling. Don't tell me you don't know, because I'm going to call you trifling. Don't tell me you don't know, because I'm going to call you trifling. Letter D. How much time does your child spend in the special ed classroom? Is your child in special ed full time? Is your child in special ed part time? Is your child receiving an itinerant level of special ed where they get pulled out here and there? Does your child receive a resource level of special ed where they only get pulled out when necessary? How much special ed does your child get, and why don't you know? You should know those 4 things. And the 5th one, Does your child have a functional behavioral assessment and positive behavior plan? Does your child have a functional behavioral assessment and positive behavior plan? If they are a behavior problem. If they're not a behavior problem, they don't need a behavior plan. But if your child receives special ed services in the United States of America and they exhibit behavior challenges, the school is obligated by federal law to provide your child with a functional behavioral assessment and a positive behavior plan. Every black special ed parent in America should be able to answer those 5 questions on demand. If you cannot answer those 5 questions on demand, you are not a responsible special ed parent. Do you know your child's disability? Do you know when they were first put in special ed? Do you know the last time they had an evaluation? Do you know when the IEP is due? And do you know if they have a behavior plan if they exhibit behavior problems? Number 10. Do you have all of your child's IEPs, psychological evaluations, standardized test scores, and interim reports in the same place? Are you organized? Do you have all of your child's psychological evaluations going all the way back to 1st grade, even though he shouldn't have been in special ed in the 1st grade? We'll talk about that tomorrow in White Plains and Sunday in Newark. Stop putting young black kids in special ed. Stop putting young black kids in special ed. Stop letting kindergartners and 1st graders and 2nd graders and 3rd graders get evaluated for special ed. Stop letting kindergartners and 1st graders and 2nd graders and 3rd graders get evaluated for special ed. But number 10 is, do you have all your paperwork in the same place? Do you have all your paperwork in the same place? All the psychological evaluations, all the IEPs, all the report cards, all the standardized test data, and all the interim reports. You must be organized. A disorganized parent is a lousy parent. A disorganized parent is a lousy parent. I am hungry. Yes, I am hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I jumped on the airplane today. Detroit, shout out to Detroit. Thank you to Wayne County Community College for inviting me. Thank you, Chief Officer Muhammad, for inviting me to Wayne County Community College. I enjoyed the students. I enjoyed the faculty. I enjoyed the staff. I enjoyed the hospitality. Thank you. And thank you for ignoring and overlooking the negative emails and phone calls and letters that you received from envious and jealous, self-hating black people in our community. I am very thankful to Wayne County Community College for overlooking the hate to see the genius. Thank you, Wayne County Community College, and thank you to all the brothers and sisters who support me, who contacted Wayne County Community College and sent emails and made phone calls and sent letters and told them that you stand by Dr. Umar Johnson and under no circumstances should you cancel this event. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I got a few more colleges coming up, so I'm going to need you guys to do some more calling, because the committee to destroy the life and works of Dr. Umar Johnson will not stop. The committee to destroy the life and works of Dr. Umar Johnson will not stop. So we're going to have to do some more phone calls. Brothers and sisters, that concludes tonight's seminar.